So did you notice that the Long Halloween's on HBO Max?
I sure did. Did you? That's good. I enjoy it. The voice actors they got for everybody are cool.
Yeah? I mean, is it still Kevin Conroy? Yeah, Kevin Conroy.
They got like, God, I can't remember their names now off the top of my head. But they got like people that have been playing these characters for a while, but it's cool because they're all from different like realms of the DC animated universe, you know? But everyone just did a really good job. It's cool. It's like, it made me really want to have like, and maybe this exists, so if anyone knows, but like an entire comic of just like Two-Face and Penguin taking over for the Falcones and the Maronis, like the organized crime, like pushing them out and becoming like the godfathers of Gotham, like, and like without really Batman being involved. Like I want it's just like a mafia story, but with like Two-Face and his gang taking over. That'd be cool.
I feel like that's just like the majority of how the comics go. It's just them slowly taking over anyway.
No, yeah, but I don't want the focus to be on Batman. You know?
Lead us in.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Tired of Batman. Doing it quietly.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing out there? Wow,
Hello.
I feel a little low energy today, actually.
I do too. I haven't slept like 6 hours in the last 2 days.
That's rough. I don't know why I went Blue's Clues right there. Steve.
So that's how he's doing today.
Yeah.
Tell him what we're doing, Jacob.
We are reviewing another movie, of course, as we generally do. Well, I guess before we go into that, we do have a lineup change for our reviews. We came to our knowledge that the creator and director of Jeepers Creepers is himself a creeper. So we're swapping out Jeepers Creepers, and we're going to be ending this month with the movie Cursed.
Wes Craven's 2005 Cursed.
Yes.
Starring Christina Ricci.
Yes. Ooh, another one of my childhood crushes.
I think she was my first crush.
Very first crush?
From
Addams Family?
No, from Casper.
Oh, I totally had a crush on her from Addams Family. Wednesday Addams. Definitely.
How old were you when that movie came out?
I don't know, like 6, 7.
Just checking.
What is this age check?
We're talking about creepers. Yeah, so because I remember you said you never seen it, right?
Cursed?
Yeah.
I don't recall ever seeing it. Actually.
I think I've seen it once. So, but it's I know it's werewolves.
Yeah, it's werewolves.
That's all I really
I know
remember
that.
about
Yeah,
it. Christina Ricci and werewolves. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about
2000. No, that's wrong.
Nope.
1998's Disturbing Behavior,
which itself is a very disturbing movie in its own kind of own rights.
I guess I usually tell about that one scene.
No, I mean by disturbing, I mean bad.
Yeah, I was like,
oh yeah. So yeah, it came out. Okay, well, it's got a 5.6 on IMDb, and yeah, it came out July 24th, 1998. And it was domestically placed number 94 in box offices, and worldwide 98. So
that's my job.
I was thought you were going to talk about other stuff. You're going to bring up like it's like money that I made and stuff like that.
Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, I'll go.
So worldwide, where was it? Where was it worldwide, Tommy?
98.
Same year it came out.
Hey, I didn't put that together.
Hey, look at that connections.
So the cost for the movie was $15 million, and then it made $17 million worldwide.
Man,
so that's not great.
Womp womp.
And I'm not that surprised by it.
This movie was also womp womp.
Well, worldwide too, in certain countries, it was in theaters like maybe a week.
Really?
Before they were like, nope, and they pulled it out. Like,
yeah, because the other countries were like, wow, this is a hot pile of garbage. Let's get it out of here.
What do you have for the top 5 for domestic?
Oh shit! I just closed out of it. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around Armageddon, Save a Private Ryan. I know, like, because we did There's Something About Mary. There's Something About Mary was like number 3. I literally just closed out of the tab.
Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Armageddon was number 1, kind of like worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide is Armageddon, Saving Private Ryan, Godzilla, which we're going to review one day. Ugh. Something About Mary, A Bug's Life.
Yeah, actually, I just realized I could just open it back up really fast right here. It's not different.
Oh, no?
Nope.
Oh, weird.
No, wait, no, that's...
Nope.
Never mind. We've moved past it. Let's not worry about it.
Okay.
All right. I guess we can just go into the director now. This movie, this one's going to be kind of very direct for us, because I think Tommy and I both feel the same sentiment. This movie wasn't really a big pop for us.
No, but it's like, what did I say to you? I said, I really enjoyed it weirdly, but it's utterly unrememberable.
Yeah.
I, about an hour later, looked at my partner and went, I don't remember what happened in that movie. And she was like, seriously? I was like, yeah. She's like, are you going to rewatch it? I'm like, no. I'm just going to kind of try and banter off to kind of get the gears going again. I'm not watching it again. I watched it an hour ago. I'm not watching it again.
No, it's because it's literally there's literally a moment when this movie just like switches and you're just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I'm over it.
Okay, so yeah, it was directed by David Nutter. Unfortunate last name.
I was thinking the same thing. And David Nutter, just to make it clear, is mainly a TV show person.
Yeah,
we got one of those directors again.
Then like the biggest things that I saw that he has really directed was series of episodes from X-Files. He looks like he was one of the kind of lead producers and like directors for when Millennium came out, which is kind of spin-off of X-Files technically. Well, it's in the same universe.
Oh, I didn't know there was a spin-off.
I wouldn't say it's a spin-off, but Millennium came out and they had like an X-Files Millennium crossover. Mm-hmm. And so like they're in the same world, like same universe type thing. And I think because Millennium was technically canceled, I want to say, and like they actually wrapped up, I think, Millennium in X-Files, strangely, in an episode of X-Files.
That's a good idea.
Like, if you have something in the same world and it gets canceled,
yeah,
you just
and people don't like it, and you're like, oh, I don't want to leave this open-ended weird thing.
Don't 100% quote me on that. I think that's what happened, but I do know 100% that they're in the same universe and they had a crossover episode. But
you're just not sure if they've tied it, like finished it up.
Yeah, like I think that might be some weird like childhood logic that I created, so that I've like carried for you. Like when Tom Segura was talking about his dad, telling lies. He's like, I believed that lie for so long. Like,
Christopher Walken's gay.
No, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
He's gay, right? Really? He's not. Oh, really?
You thought he was. You didn't think to fucking fact check that, man? Also, like episodes of 21 Jump Street, yes. Some Game of Thrones in there.
I do want to point out one that I forgot existed: the Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure TV show.
Was it animated?
There was an animated series. Okay. There was an animated series. That's not the one he directed.
Are they in it?
No. But I forget Bill's actor's name, but Reeves and him, they do the voices for the animated show. Mm-hmm. But in the live action, no. It's literally like 6. I was like, wait a second. This it was like a fever dream type thing. I was like, I gotta like go down this rabbit hole really fast. I really enjoy when we find random directors like this, where I'm like, it literally just like it sparks a memory in me. Where I'm like, whoa, like, it's like, why did I block that out?
Well, it's like even the fact that I asked the animated question. I clearly remember an animated Bill and Ted show.
It's like, what fucking Mandela effect world are we living in?
Super random. What do you think of a live action Earthworm Jim?
That.
How cool would that be?
Oh, my God.
Or like a TV series, like a live action TV series.
Oh, man, I would dig that.
Like The Boys.
Oh, man.
Like
who would play Jim? Ryan Reynolds?
I kind of went with Rainn Wilson for some reason.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Right? like his like kind of
monotoneness.
All right. Sorry.
That's how much we really don't want to talk about this movie. All right. So that's David Nutter in a nutshell.
Did you mean to do that?
Yes, I did. I apparently got the puns today. All right. So let's go into a writer. Who I love this guy's list so much.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure as soon as you saw it, you're like, fuck.
How come it never happens with me?
And me, I'm like, yes!
I never get it. We're like, oh, Tommy's going to dig this shit. No, it's always Jacob. Like, no, this is all Jacob shit. I think you picked too many of these movies. No, Disturbing Behavior was my idea. Fuck!
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a suggestion from.
Well, it was like I brought it up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that would."
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So this is it was written by Scott Rosenberg, who is famous for writing movies like High Fidelity, Con Air.
Is High Fidelity that John Cusack I
one?
don't like very much?
The Records one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit in it.
Yeah, he's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, and I wanted to be him when I was a kid.
He's annoying as fuck.
Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds, Kangaroo Jack.
Did you like Kangaroo Jack?
Well, I remember when I was younger. Yeah, it had like really weird humor for the time.
I remember that.
Also, it's a talking kangaroo. How can you go wrong with that? That's definitely a movie that needs to go on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was.
Oh my god, we could do that in Warriors of Virtue.
Oh my god,
talking kangaroo blood.
Anamorphic kangaroo.
Anamorphic kangaroo. Hey, if you know the anamorphic kangaroo movie, let us know.
Oh my god, please.
I want one of them to be a horror movie.
There's probably one
zombie kangaroo.
I don't know.
No, but that's not anamorphic. Anyways.
Well, Scott Rosenberg was really hot in the 90s. I mean, do you have any extras?
Same stuff you had. Oh, and then more recently he was the screenplay writer for one of them for the newer Jumanji movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Didn't he also work on Venom? I think I saw.
I didn't see that. I got him open right here.
I'm pretty sure he was a screenplay for the first. No, he wasn't. Who was that?
Yeah, Venom.
Was it? Oh, yeah. I have producer open. That's why.
Yeah. He
was he wrote
screen
story and screenplay for the 2018 Tom Hardy film.
Oh, and it looks like he's one of the main writers for Zoo.
I don't know what Zoo is.
If I remember correctly, it's all the animals on the planet, like in zoos and stuff, turn on humans.
That's terrifying.
Oh yeah, a young scientist searches to find out what is causing a rash of violent animal attacks. It's like all the animals in the world are like fuck humans and like eating us. It's a pretty cool idea, actually.
Damn. All right.
We deserve
Watch Zoo.
we deserve it.
All right, so let's go into who this movie stars, which has a very short list, and
I didn't know who to write down except for the two.
I just wrote the three people that were on the poster.
Oh, okay.
Which they essentially, Nick Stahl not as much, but definitely.
I liked him.
He's a good actor.
I liked him a lot.
Was he the character to be like, that's who I'd want to be in high school?
I know. I wouldn't want to be him. I'd want to be friends with him because I liked.
Be UV.
Yeah, UV was great too.
All right, so we'll start with James Marsden, who I gotta say, way too fucking old for this movie. He looks like a 30-year-old walking around the goddamn high school.
How old was he in this?
He was 25.
Oh, so he was 30.
Yeah.
Well, because I looked at
I have their ages.
I looked at him and I was like, did he just like come out of the womb looking 30? Because he's supposed to be like 18 and he looks like a 30-year-old.
I think he's supposed to be like 17 technically. Like he's like he's not. I don't think he's supposed to be a senior because like I don't know. Well, the whole story with his brother. But yeah, no, he's 25. Looks way too old for this goddamn movie. And also just like looking like when they have like the montage shots of all the high schoolers, half of those high schoolers, I'm like, there's no fucking way that's a high schooler.
Yeah, it's all movies
like
that
dude
though.
Looks like he's 40.
Yeah, like, but I mean, do you feel like they're doing better with it now?
They're doing a lot better with it.
They're
now.
Actually getting like younger people. Before it was like, I think, we're the senior class.
It's like
26.
The OC was really bad with it. I think Glee may have been the last one that was really bad with the too old to be playing the age type thing.
Yeah,
because like the guy Corey Monteith, I want to say his name is. Who played Finn, he was like 28 playing an 18-year-old, 16, 17-year-old. And
is Finn the one that got busted?
No, that was the guy. That was Puck. No,
right.
Finn was the one who died of a heroin overdose. I watched the first couple seasons of Glee a lot.
No, he's laughing because of my expression. I was just surprised to hear that. I didn't realize there was so much shit going on behind the scenes of Glee.
Oh, dude, and they were like having sex with each other all the time. Like they literally like there's like there one day there's gonna be behind the Glee, the darkness, something like that.
That's great.
Yeah, that's
like
gonna
behind the music, but behind the Glee.
Yeah,
that's good. VH1, make it happen. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Well,
I don't even like Glee.
All right, anyway, we're talking about James Marsden.
Are we? He was a Party of Five, X-Men.
Wait, he was a Party of Five?
Yeah, X-Men as I don't know. I never watched it.
What? I didn't see that on his list. What is he? Oh, maybe it was just like a quick episode.
Yeah, I don't think it was only one. Maybe everyone's gonna be like, no, he was like so and so and so.
I guess I totally missed that looking at his list. I just got to see it. Yeah. Oh yeah, one episode.
Oh, he's in one episode. Okay.
The Ides of March. Yeah, he kind of did like a lot of like one episode TV stuff. I noticed, like leading up to this was kind of like his first big movie. Yeah, like literally, he just like had like little roles in like TV movies and TV series. He was in Blossom. Shit.
I recognize him as X-Men from Cyclops.
Yes.
Fun cameo. I never realized he's in Zoolander. Never drank on that one.
I don't. Who is he in Zoolander?
He's John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah. What like the actual John Wilkes Booth?
Yeah. There's like a scene where it shows the assassination of Lincoln.
Why do I not remember the scene?
Because it's when the guy from X-Files, what's his name?
David Duchovny?
Yeah, David Duchovny's explaining how the models get brainwashed to kill like political leaders.
Oh. Okay, that's
and
like...
he starts talking about Wilkes was like...
Oh, because Wilkes was a model.
An actor.
That's
but he was also a model, baby. And like,
man. Oh,
and
wow.
And he looks at the camera and he does the blue steel.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I didn't realize that was a cameo. And I just want to do a shout out if no one's seen it. He's in Robot and Frank. He's not really a main character, but
I haven't seen that.
Robot, I think if you're looking for a fun kind of heist getting older drama.
Yeah.
Frank teaches a robot how to be a cat burglar, basically. Okay. It's pretty cute. Funny.
I think his his most memorable is going to be X-Men, really. Mm-hmm. And for some people, probably be Enchanted instead.
Or Westworld.
Which I haven't seen. One of my favorite roles from him is Death at a Funeral, the remake.
Never saw the remake.
I know you haven't seen the remake. I think he's really funny because he's the one that accidentally takes the ecstasy.
Oh, he replaces
was it Alan Tudyk?
Alan Tudyk, yeah. He replaces Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, and James Marsden actually is a really great comedic actor. The way that he commits to like the ridiculousness of stuff.
I gotta give him another shot. I hate him as Cyclops. I mean, he's perfect for Cyclops, but I hate Cyclops.
Well, and he was not. I mean, he was perfect for this hot garbage of a movie.
Yeah.
Before how old he was, but and then also most recently he's in the new Sonic, or in the Sonic movies as Sonic's human pal,
compadre. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like I said, James Marsden. He was 25 when this movie was released.
All right.
Going down to Katie Holmes. She was 20 at the release of this.
She looked young.
She's 20s.
No, I know, but she looks. I didn't realize until she got because she doesn't really look that different, but she looked super baby face in this.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
she's fucking tiny. She's shit.
Tiny little thing.
Yeah. Most famously known for Dawson's Creek at this time. Later to be famously known for being locked in Tom Cruise's basement. Sorry. Which is not really true. I mean, she was doing a lot of like film stuff. It just it wasn't as popular. But yeah, Dawson's Creek. Then she's also in Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which I know you want to see.
I want to see that. She's the original Rachel from Batman Begins.
Yep. She's in one of my personal strangely favorite drug movies, Go. Kind of more of a smaller role in it. I don't think you've seen that.
I haven't seen that. Oh, I know the poster.
Yeah,
I know the poster.
Yeah,
it's kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite movies too that she's in, Phone Booth with Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite thrillers.
I need to rewatch that because that was. I remember I saw that when I was younger. I can't. How old is that movie? What year did it come out? Like 2000 something.
2002.
Okay, I do remember liking it, and it was one of the. It was. I think that's the first movie I saw Colin Farrell in.
Okay. Don't just type in Phone Booth. 2002. Boom. Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
But this made me, when I wrote that down, I was like, I want to make an entire block of movies that take place in literally like one location. Like that entire movie is just on that corner with the phone booth. I want to think of more like that.
There's Room.
That's multiple rooms though. Oh no, sorry. I was thinking of 4 rooms, not The Room.
No, I'm thinking like Brie Larson's Room, or maybe it's called The Room.
What's Room?
The one where she was kidnapped and gives birth to the kid. Yeah.
Okay, I remember that one. That's Brie Larson?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
She won an Academy Award for that, I'm pretty sure.
I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember anything. I don't remember any details about it. But yeah, that's another block. I think that would be fun.
That would be a good, fun block. I'm trying to think of other ones. Well, let's talk about the movie instead of trying to go down that path. Yeah, that's Katie Holmes. But yeah, like... There is that controversy of her being. Well, I shouldn't say Yeah, I guess it was a controversy. It was the talk of the town or whatever when she was married to Tom Cruise, and like she was like being forced into Scientology. And when she finally divorced him, it was like, Katie Holmes is free. I remember that being on like a tabloid, literally saying, Katie Holmes is free.
I'm pretty sure it came up again recently.
About her being married to him?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw her and like her living nightmare. Like,
yeah.
Like
I mean, because I'm pretty like, it is documented that he kind of like, I don't want to say he kept her captive, but like, he did like control her life for like a good period of time while they were married.
Scientology is a hard thing to leave.
Yeah,
it's nearly impossible.
Well, especially if you're forced into it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like they hound you and whatever.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So yeah, I have Nick Stahl as the last one on this list, and really, he's more or less like the only other like big. I mean, there's the janitor guy, but whatever. Nick Stahl.
I want to ignore that. His accent was fucking.
He's yeah, it was super
fucking penguin,
like fucking Looney Tunes, man. Nick Stahl, who was 19 when this movie was released.
Wow, they got pretty close.
Yeah, he was the youngest of them all. And he actually, the reason why he steals most of the scenes in, because he was actually a child actor doing legit movies with Mel Gibson.
Well, okay, number one, he had the most dialogue.
Yeah, that's true.
And think about Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes has like 5 things in this entire movie. Most of them are razor.
Or what is going on? Like, no, I don't know.
We don't know, Katie. We were actually hoping you could help explain some of this. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so he's from I remember him in The Man with No Face, which was I think one of Mel Gibson's. I think it was Mel Gibson's
that's that Mel Gibson
debut.
one. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Tall Tale, which is he plays the kid that gets lost in like the story of like all of like the American Tall Tales characters, and like he's like with like Patrick Swayze plays Pedro I forget his name. Pesco Pete? You don't know who I'm talking about here. He's a...
So that sounds like you're going to say Pedro Pascal.
I was about to say Pedro Pascal.
I was like, wait,
that's not it.
That's... that doesn't sound correct.
He's in... Oh, and he's also like the most... I think I don't really recognize him from a lot of things.
He's in Sin City as the
Yellow
Yellow Bastard.
I was going to say Sin City, which I didn't know that was him.
It was weird. As soon as I read it, I was like, oh yeah, I totally see it. He's the creepy pedophile that Bruce Willis is like nemesis with that becomes yellow after his penis is blown off.
Yep.
He's Terminator 3 as John Connor. And I remember him being really great in Bully, but I brought up Bully before.
Yeah. I saw Bully on the list. I was like, oh, I wonder if Tommy's going to want to talk about that for a second.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. I haven't seen it.
You got to see it. I don't think we should ever review it.
Okay.
Because that's intense topics to review.
Jesus. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Patrick Swayze plays Pecos Bill. And then there's Oliver Platt playing Paul Bunyan.
What are you talking about? Patrick Swayze's not in this movie.
No, I'm talking. Go back to Tall Tale. Sorry. And Roger Aaron Brown, John Henry. So, John Henry, Paul Bunyan, Pecos Bill, American Tall Tale heroes. Nick Stahl plays a kid that like goes on an adventure with them. It's a Disney movie. I remember liking it when I was a kid.
Interesting.
It would be a fun one to review, actually. If we want to like do
that weird Disney block we were talking about.
Do like a weird I think with that like the weird Disney block would be fun to do more like a like 90s
Three Musketeers with that.
Yeah, Three Musketeers. Oh, that's not a bad one.
And then because it's all like the story.
Is Pagemaster Disney?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Anyways. All right.
And then
we keep really falling off subject.
And then the last one I wanted to bring up was Bruce Greenwood.
Which one was he again?
He's the Doctor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Most recently, he's Star Trek. He's Captain or Admiral Pike. Mm-hmm. He's an iRobot, Super 8. He's a 90s dad. If you don't I don't know. He's also like he's a voice of Batman. A lot of the time.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In like a lot of the animated films.
That's interesting.
He's like a go-to Batman guy.
I mean, what's really interesting is that Ethan Embry, his like quick little cameo in this. He's the their brother that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like I was like, as soon as I saw the flashes, and I was like, oh, Ethan Embry's in this. He should like he was such a big name at this. Maybe this is before Can't Hardly Wait. This is before. Well, Can't Hardly Wait I think came out this year, so I think this is before Ethan Embry really got big. Mm-hmm. And then also. Catherine Isabel, who she's in things, but I thought she was the love interest in Donnie Darko the entire time until I looked at it and she's not. No. So I don't know why I brought her up. All right. Oh, you never read your 10-word Tommy or your Tommy synopsis?
I know, I just let it go.
Why, you don't want it? You don't want to read it?
I can, but we got on our tangent. Synopsis: a cult of horny, murderous teens infiltrate a small town in Washington to rid it of sin and rebelliousness.
How did it feel to watch a movie so close to home?
I mean, I don't know. It was filmed in Vancouver, so it didn't really feel.
That's fair. And also, another movie we just watched that's technically...
How weird was that?
Yeah.
That was weird. It was like two horror movies in a row that take place in Washington.
Yeah. Because clearly some of that, the other movie was clearly a soundstage.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not Seattle.
Well, I have to say, though, the ferry gate to get into the town did look like the Birmingham gate.
Are you talking about for Disturbing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually looked a lot like it. Like when we go camping.
I wouldn't be surprised if they that was on set filming type shit, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's just certain things like that where it's like, I guess they could use any ferry location, but do you really want to get the kind of on spot thing for that?
Yeah.
You know, because it's a very specific look and locale.
Yeah, the ferries are iconic to Washington and the islands and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not. Yeah. Review time?
Yeah. So why don't you get into some reviews? This is another. I have a really interesting article that I want to bring up, and I don't know. Well, I would love for us to share some way, because this movie was another example of producers ruining a movie.
Yeah, I want to bring that up. So my first review is a little long, but I thought it was pretty good. CC. And I also this time I tried to get not Ebert, and also it was really hard to find reviews for this.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of the big names didn't really review it.
There's definitely an Ebert one. Right?
There's an Ebert one, but I was trying to avoid him. But CC on bloodygoodhorror.com. Okay, here we go. Let's try and do this in one take. Released in the shadow of the success of Craven's Scream, Disturbing Behavior tried its best to deliver a clever and smart horror film, but failed pretty miserably. Despite a plotline that owns more holes than a block of Swiss, the film is just a jumbled attempt at cashing in on the statistical flip of the drama of a high school type trope. Ripe with violent outbursts and the intense objectification and sexualization of high school aged kids, Disturbing Behavior attempts to just ride high on the popularity of teenage rebellion movies in the horror industry and doesn't try to do anything new or even what's already been done well. So, yeah. That was...
Sorry, I kind of checked out.
What? All right. Anyways,
I was trying to find a block that I wanted to bring up in this.
But I like CC saying more holes in the plot than a block of Swiss.
I did catch that.
And then Fred the Wolf at Full Moon Reviews.
The Wolf.
He's a blogger. I was reading a bunch of his stuff. While still an entertaining little movie, watching it this time with a critical adult eye makes me realize how flawed it is. A teenage version of the Stepford Wives without commentary or justification for its existence. With studio and producers involved only wanting to cater to the Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer market at the time.
Let's see, we have a pattern we're coming up. They're talking about Scream. They're talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah. Other than accidentally, sorry for checking out that first one. I was, like I said, I was trying to find something here.
I mean, the biggest thing, the reason I liked it was the plot hole bit, but then I also really enjoyed just a jumbled attempt at cashing in on statistical anyways, drama of high school trope, ripe with violent outbursts and the intense objectification and sexualizations of high school aged kids.
Yeah. And what's interesting is watching this movie, I could see myself as a 15 to 18-year-old in high school watching this and thinking it's not that bad. Being like, oh, this is kind of creepy, especially being a teenager around this time period, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it, but also it's I get as an adult looking at it and being like, what the? But it's also you remember being in high school? You were horny a lot.
Yeah.
You were a hormonal teenager.
Yeah.
you were an absolute monster, I'm sure. Like,
I have that in my review.
Yeah, like, it's like, yeah, I get it. These are adults making these decisions about objectifying these kids, but it's also like the teenagers are a lot of the time horny little monsters.
I mean, that's what the metaphor of what this movie is.
Yeah, it's the metaphor of it, you know.
I mean, there's a couple of metaphors in it. And like, so what I have right here is a really cool, it's from this, a website called Synapse. That's CINAPSE dot. I think it's dot. It just says .co. I don't know if it's an actual .com, but I did look at, like, it's a legit, like, website and whatnot. Written by Frank Calvillo. It's just kind of. This is kind of like a review of the movie, but what I really like is that it kind of goes into talking about I'll just kind of read snippets from this paragraph here. Disturbing behavior represents the classic example of a director having his film taken away from him and recut by the studio to within an inch of its life. There's so much evidence here of a film that has literally been edited beyond recognition. That's not to say that there aren't some things that are organically wrong with the film. Goes forward, and then all of this is a real shame, given that there is enough potential here to make an honest comment about high school life. So this movie has, there was a potential of something good in here, and apparently the unreleased director's cut, this movie's almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, and
there's 20 to 30 minutes of of stuff cut out of it, which, because James Marsden's character just says nothing through most of this movie. He's like a strange purveyor of what's happening until he becomes hero.
What is that thing, that term that you wanted to do a banter on again? Oh,
the director dude?
The name? Yeah.
Alan... oh, God, what was it? Alan Smithy? Yeah, Alan Smithy, I want to say.
Yeah.
He could have probably put his
he was contemplating it.
Yeah.
For a while.
Because I'm trying to. They talks about that later down in this article about how the director kind of wanted to just really separate himself from this movie.
Well, and I wish I'd known this at the time, but apparently I found someone saying that on YouTube you can actually find someone that.
The fan edit of the...
took the movie, took the lead scenes and plugged them back in.
Yeah, so before we get into those lead scenes, let me go through my review really quick.
Okay.
And then we can really dive into it.
Okay.
Because, everything will come together. Okay, so my review. High school is a rough time for most people, especially if you're the new kid with a family trauma that your father doesn't want to talk about, forcing an unhealthy atmosphere for a teenager to learn how to process their own emotions. But if you're lucky enough, you might find yourself in the little town Cradle Bay, where an evil doctor can brainwash you into being able to process those confusing emotions with a chip to the brain. Unless you get a hard-on, then no one is safe. Stupid hormones. Well, that's the plot of 1998's Disturbing Behavior. More or less, the movie attempts at being a cautionary tale about the problems of conformity and a warning about how teenagers can become literal monsters when forced to face their pubertal hormones. The first half of this movie attempts at a Stepford Wives-esque type of story, but quickly swerves itself into a gutter by introducing the overly creepy psych ward that really does nothing helpful in continuing the story.
What the fuck was that?
From this point forward, the identity of the movie is lost, and I was genuinely disinterested as I laughed at every ridiculous point thereafter. At one point, Katie Holmes' character asks, "What is going on?" And I immediately responded with, "I don't know. I wish I did." And even sticking with its generational stamp of an open ending, the cliffhanger, I still wanted to know what I just watched.
Fucking love you brought up the asylum scene. Dude, it was straight up like a fucking haunted mansion Halloween thing.
I was like, why is this so creepy?
Well, you know the funny thing too? Huh. I didn't want to pay for this, so I deep dived into where to stream it, and I went on Pluto.
Oh, yeah.
And then double checked. I was like, okay, does Pluto edit shit really hard?
Yeah.
And the thing was like, no. And I was like, the internet said no. And I was like, okay. And then I started watching it and I was like, this is so choppy. They have to be editing things.
No.
And then I was like, looked it up again and then actually looked at the synopsis and I was like, oh, no, they didn't edit shit.
This movie's just been edited as shit.
And there's the titty scene where she opens her shirt and you see boobs. I'm like, oh, no, they're not editing anything.
Yeah.
This movie's just crazy choppy. Like,
This movie's just a pile of hot garbage.
holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, are we getting into it now?
Yeah, let's get into it. Because, like, yeah.
Something I thought, like, that maybe that's why I enjoyed this movie is because it had this kind of cool potential, especially at this time in 98. There was this huge resurgence of parents, in a sense, getting very involved with their children, and not in a, okay, how does this make you feel?
Not in a healthy way.
I know that this music makes you act this way, so you can't listen to that anymore.
I just thought of a bunch of Eminem lyrics. So fitting for the time, too.
Eminem, Marilyn Manson, all these things where the music and movies and stuff were being very blamed. And it's like the parents weren't taking credit where credit's due for not being there for their kids. And that's why the whole underlining theme of trying to change your children to be better, it was like, that's the idea for this era in this movie is like perfect. It's like, yeah, a bunch of kids were probably feeling like their parents were trying to put them in this little preppy conformist box.
Yeah, no, and literally, like, in a weird way, like, James Marsden's character and Nick Stahl's character, I mean, the three main characters are meant to be the identifiable characters, you know, the ones that you're going to, like, you know, connect with to, like, because especially a lot of children and teenagers that are watching horror movies at this time, they feel like the outcasts, you know, of the school and whatnot. So, like, these people that are the outliers in sight of the conformity of the school are going to be the ones that we, as the audience that enjoy these types of movies, that are going to want to, you know, connect with.
Yeah.
And the movie does a good job of doing that at the beginning. It just...
Well, that whole scene when, Gavin.
Oh, when he breaks her neck?
No.
Oh, Gavin, sorry. No.
Gavin, the stoner kid.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Nick Stahl's character.
Nick Stahl, Gavin. Gavin.
I don't even remember the fucking characters' names in this.
I have
what was
the cheat
it?
sheet.
Rachel was Katie Holmes.
Steve is Marston.
And then Gavin is Nick Stahl.
Stahl, yeah. And then Greenwood is Dr. Caldut.
Caldut? I get it, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But he's sitting
we
there.
also got to bring up the janitor. I mean, we'll talk about the movie, yeah.
But like he's sitting there and he's breaking down. Like that was one of the best scenes in the entire. He's breaking down the cliques.
Yeah.
And he's like, drug of choices and blah blah blah, and then freaks all week. You know, like
there's like a tagline with each thing.
Yeah, I was like, this is great. Like this whole little.
I think
intro.
it went one list too long. I was like, okay, fucking stop, kid.
Really, I really enjoyed.
But also, I'm like sitting there. I'm like, God no, like. That's what a kid like that would do. And also that's the kid that I wanted. That was the kid that I was like, I thought I was in high school. I was like, I knew a lot about the school.
But I liked him too because he was like such a smart ass and would like, he was constantly on the verge of getting his ass kicked, but he didn't care.
Yeah.
He was like, go ahead and kick my ass. I'm going to still be a smart ass afterwards.
Yeah.
So, which I really appreciated him for.
You have nothing on me. So yeah.
So this movie starts off. Okay, so
this movie actually. Okay, yeah. The beginning, literally, I would say the first 30 minutes of this movie are not that bad. Like it's kind of choppy, but like you feel like you're getting a story, you're getting some character development.
Yeah, because the first 30 minutes has that what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing.
Like the opening scene is actually like was like captivating. You're like, oh fuck, this movie's gonna be cool or weird. Like I don't know. Like you're interested.
Well, it's like because the opening is the whole on the cliff thing with the making out and everything, right?
Yeah. The parked car.
I mean, it's interesting because I think that you're like, whoa, because it starts off with,
I need my fluids.
With this really weird, by Lover's Lane in the car scene. And then the girl's like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways, and goes down on the guy, and then you see his eyes get all
because it's like an opposite is like she's the one that's being kind of pushy and he's the one that's like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, I have a game this Friday, I gotta keep all my fluids, which was the grossest line
I know
ever.
I need to keep all my fluids.
And then she proceeds to go down on him.
Mind you, during this, Gavin is being fucking pervy McPerv.
His dog is helping him find good find girl, good find. Smoking a joint,
He's like, you're gonna get it on.
And then in the midst of the act happening, Trent.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Trent.
Blue ribbon boy.
Yeah, one of the blue ribbons, which are the preppy the goody two shoes,
the brainwashed kids.
Well, but from a societal point, everyone like they're the goody two shoe kids.
Yeah, they're the ones that are get A's, and they're good in school.
They get what?
Get A's.
Oh, they get gays. I was like, what does that mean?
No, they get good grades
and get
stuff.
A's. Okay.
Yeah.
But in the middle of the act, he suddenly like starts literally seeing red, and he breaks her neck,
snaps it
mid blowjob, and you're like, whoa,
yeah,
whoa. And like, and I think that's why you're like that moment's like a fucking hook.
Jarring. Yeah,
it's a hook. You're like, what the fuck was that?
And right there, you're like, oh, this is gonna be good.
And then cops show up to like break it up. One of the cops realizes that the girl is straight up dead in the car, but Jock Boy's still seeing red, kills one of the cops. But then suddenly the other cop is like totally
he's like kind of like a chief or something.
Yeah, he's like she's the sheriff.
Yeah.
And all the others are his deputies. And he's like real chill with it. Just
he's like, all right, man.
They pull out the bodies, dump them, and then like
you got a game on Friday. Go rest up for that.
Yeah, so you're like, oh wait,
the cops are in on it too.
The cops are in on it too. And then like Gavin becomes very aware of this. Something the fuck is going on in this town. Yeah. And that's the intro. And you're like, oh,
that's a great intro.
You're like,
that makes you so interested in what's going on in this movie.
Like, what the hell is going on? And then it cuts random. Then it's Steve's time.
Well, then now they're introducing the main, like, who's going to be kind of like who we journey through this movie with more. The new kid moving into school who's got the troubled past.
Yeah.
And they don't really talk about what that troubled past is thing and whatnot. And the movie just kind of starts a little spiral here. But they're spending a lot of time on character development, or what's attempting to be character development.
Yeah, and then that's
with clearly a 30-year-old playing an 18-year-old.
And then that's kind of where we lean into what we were talking about, where Gavin, the burnout stoner guy, starts explaining the class system that is at this high school.
Yeah, and they also they start kind of like with just like an introduction, like the school, like I don't know, whatever fucking like Puget Sound school has like that many kids to like that has that big of a school of like the preppies, the punks, and it's like it's such a stereotypical looking like Hollywood idea of a high school.
Yeah. Well, especially at this time too.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like Clueless but in Washington.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no, there's probably like a class of like 30 kids.
Well, that's the thing too, is like what always kills me with these kind of like big not ensemble, but these big scenes where you see all the kids running around, they always all look like seniors. Yeah. Like where are the freshmen?
Where are the children?
We're the ones that look like you go, what the fuck are you doing here? Get out of here, gremlin. They're always like these 18-year-olds running around. There's never like any lower classmen looking people ever. And I'm like, okay, this is a huge senior class. Like, all right.
Right.
It's like, this is a junior and senior high school only. Like, it's always so annoying.
They keep the freshmen in the back.
Do you remember that when you were a senior and the freshmen showed up? You're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, I know. It was because I remember there was a part of me that was like, oh, so this is like, because I remember like, there's like thinking back as a freshman, like, they look so adult. Like,
yeah, it's just, yeah. And then you also,
and then I was a senior, I'm like, these kids.
And then you're like, as a freshman, you're like, why are seniors always dicks? And then you become a senior and you're like, I'm a dick. Get away from me.
I'm gonna push in your fucking locker.
Never like that.
I was never like that.
I think Kevin made me better. I was nicer to them.
All right.
Hopefully, I think. I don't know.
So yeah, even like the introduction of Katie Holmes' character Rachel. Was her name Rachel? Really? Like, okay. So I'm not getting thrown off from Batman Begins.
I thought that was funny.
I just put that together. But yeah, she's Ray. Her introduction. It's like every time.
Did you know that Falcone is a Frank Miller creation? Sorry, random. But
no, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either until I watched it. I think he's credited, and someone else too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like every time, like there's like the like weird slow motion just on Katie Holmes' body, and it's like you're like, oh, this is clearly a like, objectification.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
But it's like also it goes into the theme of sexuality in the movie because Steve is like, oh god, the soundtrack. Steve is like staring at her, and it's that slow motion, like this is the
Got
girl
you where I want you.
This is the girl. Oh, look at her. This is the girl. You know. So it's like, but it's supposed to be from a teenager's point of view. Yeah. You know, where it's like this is I remember being a freshman. I remember seeing a girl once.
The first like extremely pretty like like older upperclassmen.
The slow-mo thing,
like,
of like, whoa. I remember that.
I just want to watch Can't Hardly Wait. Every time General Love Hewitt enters a fucking room.
Is it slow motion?
It's slow motion, yeah.
Dude, this soundtrack was fucking terribly awesome.
We forgot to talk about the soundtrack on I Know What You Did Last Summer as well, and that had a pretty cool soundtrack as well.
That one did, yeah.
So, oh god,
but like again, going back to real quick to just Gavin and his lines.
Yeah,
like
he talks like he was a fucking like mid-century goddamn writer.
I loved him. Well, like
I can't even quote his shit. It's so fucking sophisticated.
Steve and Rachel meet, and he goes, appropriate sparks flying.
Oh yeah,
cue the power ballad. Shit like that. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Oh man,
that's a good line, dude.
Oh, I just remembered what we were like. I guess when we get because like there's an alternate ending to this movie, and there's an alternate love scene apparently.
Yeah, I read that too.
Did you read about what they were like when they happened?
Yeah, I know the alternate ending. I didn't read the love scene.
I'm glad it's not in the movie. It would have made you so upset.
Oh, is it one of those?
It's unneeded type thing. Yeah.
Fucking hate that shit. Am I like the only one that's like that?
No, I mean I find it kind of annoying as well. It's just like okay. What was I just like complaining about with *Malignant* earlier is unneeded plot devices.
True.
So
like an unneeded sex scene is like the ultimate unneeded plot device. Yeah. It's but like so yeah. So there's all these, and that's just that whole fucking slow mo. What makes it uncomfortable is like. Because when when the ribbons do it,
blue ribbons, yeah,
and it has those sparks and stuff.
I kind of put that together now. Nice.
It's literally like these teenagers are getting horny, and that's so uncomfortable because also something bad's gonna happen. Because even the doctor at one point says they go ballistic and then they could kill people with their hard-ons or something really really uncouth and uncomfortable, and you're like.
What's up with these kids? Every time they get a fucking hard on, they want to kill something.
Yeah. It's just like, okay.
Oh yeah, that's when he's replacing the fucking chip in the blonde chick's fucking mind. So I mean, okay, I guess like to really run this movie down as like in a quick kind of sense, like there's this doctor inside of the town who is brainwashing, like making all of the kids conform to an idea of like
the perfect American child.
Yeah. And even like in one of these meetings, like one of the parents is like, I want my old son back. He's not the kid that
She's questioning the treatment because he's mean to everyone outside of the blue ribbons.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I don't know if we did. The blue ribbons we already clarified are the preppy top of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And the doctor just kind of blows it off. He's like, well, I forget exactly what he said. Because it's like he quickly just transitions like, and we have a
candidate for
type thing, yeah. But like, so he's been doing this, and so we've seen the fucking high school quarterback in the beginning of the movie murder a chick, get covered up quickly, and then we get Chug outside of the.
What an unfortunate nickname,
right? I mean, he was pretty good at doing something at parties.
Oh, okay, got it.
Did you seriously just?
I didn't really get it.
I mean, also, he probably. I mean, at this time, the blue ribbon. They're not drinking beer or anything like that. Yeah. So,
but it's like they refuse to call Steven Steve. So why would they still call him Chug?
No, it was just Rachel. I was calling him Chug. It was an old nickname.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Go ahead, sorry.
Because like that's when Gavin brings up like they were all my friends type thing.
Right.
So he's in the fucking Quick Mart or whatever in the grocery store. He's like zooming in on Rachel's body and just like just getting all heated up, and then like it's like showing it's showing the example of like it's setting up like it's like. Any type of arousal is really what kind of leads these kids into the spiral of like everything.
A murderous rage.
Because like just all it takes is like a skateboard punk dude to just like kind of bump into him. Who's then like, oh, sorry, man, didn't mean to do that. And he's like, ah!
Well, he like squeezes his carton of milk or whatever.
Yeah, like goes fucking like fucking.
Dude, he ripped out his septum.
He rips out his septum. Rick.
As someone that has this, ow.
No, and then and the fucking sheriff just like.
That's what killed me.
Like, just like kind of like what it's like.
All right, take it easy, buddy.
Yeah, just like walk it off. Well, it's like this kid's like bleeding all over the place. It's like, is nobody gonna care about him?
Well, that's what kind of like correct me if I'm wrong, because it has been a year, but even like, so this is so Faculty.
Yeah, it's Faculty. I feel is a little bit more like Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
but replacing people.
Yes, yeah.
But even remind me, the coach, even though he was like a dick in it, he covered up his shit.
Yeah.
This guy didn't cover up. He didn't pretend to arrest anyone.
Well, like, I feel like the cop, like, and this is the thing is where like definitely like the editing got away from this movie because like there is no explanation of the cop really being involved with this.
Yeah.
But he's clear. Like I thought the cop was going to be the main bad guy. And then once they have you see the meeting and it's all, no, it's the doctor. Okay, that makes more sense. It's the doctor, evil doctor type thing. But then the sheriff is like the muscle, you know. But they don't even. It's just like that's just like swallow your carrot type thing. You just got to kind of put that together. So like yeah. So then Chug like gets like he also like every time these kids like. They like wake up from like whatever like murderous rage they were in, like their hormones take over their goddamn body. They just kind of like, where was I?
Yeah, they kind of have this like it's like almost like an out of body like rage. They like literally see red.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
And it keeps so then like it sets up then like, well, I guess like the girl's kind of the next one this happens with because then she's just like at Steve's place because she was tutoring his little sister. The little sister's like all gung ho for like oh good grades, Blue Ribbon Society, yeah, because she's already brainwashed.
She's a
not
good,
actually.
She's a good kid.
She's like yeah. But yeah, the cute like attractive like top of the
the head cheerleader type.
She's at the house and. She starts like looking at James
drinking his Coke.
And Steven just sipping on his Coke. She's like, oh my God.
She gets all hot and
bothered and starts unbuttons her blouse and pulls out her boobies and like walks towards him all seductively. And he's just like, she's like, what, am I not attractive? He's like, no, you are very attractive, but you should go home. We shouldn't be doing this. I know you shouldn't be like I know you don't actually want to do this type thing. And then
he doesn't know all that yet.
Well, no, but that's he's like, no, he means like he's like
societally, social circles.
In social circles, you don't want to be doing this with
because I'm not a blue ribbon.
Yeah,
and then she like starts fucking. What are they called in Austin Powers?
Oh, the
fembots. Yeah, she starts
going fembot.
Yeah, starts going fembot,
and literally starts just bashing her head into a mirror. Well, I guess she only does it once.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that scene was actually pretty tense.
Yeah, I was like, whoa,
bad. What was she saying?
I don't know. She was like Dobby in Harry Potter, pretty
bad,
much.
Dirty, bad,
bad elf.
She's and picks up a shard of glass and just goes at him with blood coming down her face. I was like, this would be horrifying.
And then like she like snaps out of it and she's like kind of she's really like vulnerably exposed, and when she just kind of covers herself, looks up and just like scampers away into the night pretty much.
It says like, and again, not remembering anything, saying that she has a big algebra test or something tomorrow.
Yeah.
And disappears into the night. And then just, I guess, automatically goes back to the doctor.
I don't know. Maybe
because also
this is another one of those things that's not really fully clear. It's like, are they monitoring them? Like, how does he know that she did like?
And then
is she programmed like when things like this happen to just go directly to him?
Yeah, but then it's also like there's this whole really weird conversation where he's basically implying like he realizes that the penile gland that gives them hormones to be sexually aroused is what's causing this malfunction. So they're gonna take it out, and then the nurse is like, "What are we gonna tell parents? Tell them that won't be at cheer practice for a week," and then she's never brought up ever again.
Yep. And so like this is kind of like. I feel like you feel like the movie is going in a specific direction at this point. And then I think like the biggest kind of like turning point, and that's when Gavin turns.
Yeah,
because like this is when the movie really like kind of picks up like
well right before that
the investigative stuff of it, Well,
like right before
Gavin thinks about it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like Gavin like knows about this whole. He has this whole conspiracy about what's going on in the town. Tells Steve. Steve doesn't believe him, so Gavin takes him to one of these blue ribbon meetings with the doctor and the parents and everything. And Gavin is then now offered up by his parents as the next candidate to be part of the Blue Ribbons.
They fucking sold me out, man.
And then Gavin is like losing his shit, and it was actually a really good scene for him.
Yeah,
he was like he was convincing of like it was a great game over man moment.
Yeah.
And then
he fucking pulls out a
gun,
piece.
like, and he's like, "I'll fucking kill them all before I let them take me."
How does he say? He's like, "I'm gonna blow. What?
I'm gonna smoke them all.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke them all, man." It's just like I'm like, man, this is so 90s.
But it's like it was just one of those moments too that always kills me in these kind of movies where someone that you know, and like maybe you don't like love the guy because you just met him, but you obviously have been hanging out with him and you care about him enough to listen to his crazy theories and stuff. This dude is terrified.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely, like, maybe listen a little bit.
I mean, don't give him the gun back. I mean,
no.
Also, like, an unspoken, like, it's like, this is clearly a very triggering moment probably for Steve as well, because this is what his brother took his own life with a gun.
Yeah.
So, like, there's definitely, like, this thing of, like, there's a reason why Steve wants to get this gun out of his hands. He's like, you're gonna end up shooting the fucking paper boys, kind of what he says.
Yeah.
You know?
And
but like it's like instead of just like walking away, it'd be like I offered you a place to like come home with me still.
Yeah, and then also the gun's never brought up again.
Yeah, no. Like I was really hoping him to throw it in the goddamn water.
It's a cut scene.
Think he actually does?
No, like the one of the reasons that Steve gets put as a candidate for the Blue Ribbons is his mom finds the gun.
Oh, really?
And they cut that out.
Oh, because and now she's oh my god.
So it's like, why are they? What is he doing? He's not doing anything wrong. Like to be like a bad kid.
Well, it's because he's the new kid, and he's just being all. He was friends with Gavin.
Yeah, you know, it's
he's
just
bringing
like
UV around. What's wrong with that kid?
Yeah, it's like with a cut. And I'm like, that's kind of an important scene you cut out, but whatever.
Yeah.
But he takes the gun, and then we never really find out what happened to the gun. And then Gavin comes to school the next day, and he is prim proper. Looks like that guy from Criminal Minds. What's his name?
Oh, the
smart guy.
Reeve?
Yeah,
Reese?
Reeves?
Reese. I think it's Reese. I can't remember
either, but that's something he reminded me of.
I can totally see that because he's got like the polo or the sweater vest with
the tie
with the collar coming out. Yeah, he looks prim and proper. And
he cleaned up nice.
Yeah. And then that's like, so Rachel and Steve and UV. Oh, yeah, UV is like their friend. Like,
their albino friend.
Yeah. Just stoned all the time, pretty much. It's apple. And they're like, it starts with a fucking, like, they just like, all of a sudden, like, it's like the school's aware of what's going to happen when people stand up to the Blue Ribbon kids.
Yeah, what was that about?
It's like all of a sudden, like they're standing up and the cafeteria just clears.
Yeah, they're like
everybody's like, get the fuck. It's like, they poked the bear.
So like the blue ribbons are like one side of the cafeteria. All the normies are on the other one. Rachel and Steve go to talk to Gavin, and then the ribbons won't let them. And then it becomes like, okay, there's gonna be like a little tussle, and everyone in the cafeteria fucking takes off,
bounces.
Yeah, and they lock the doors, and they're like, all right. And it was just, I don't know, that was also kind of weird.
It's all super weird. And then and then also it shows like how these Blue Ribbon kids, like, they just beat the shit out of Steve, and then they like taunt the janitor, call him the R word. I hate that word was so liberally used for so long. But we forgot to talk about the janitor, the introduction of him in the basement of the school, and the sound of like his trying to find the rats, and then like the weird like thing that
He's
sound
like a machine that's like supposed to scare rats away.
It's like a weird it's a sonar
for rat.
Thing. Yeah, which is very important because what happens for the movie. Really, Gavin turning is kind of when Rachel and Steve are like, okay, now we need to get behind the bottom of this because what Gavin was saying was true.
Yeah.
And so I think I kind of checked out at some part of this movie because I forget how they ended up figuring out to go to the psych ward.
They have like a secret smoke spot in the high school. Gavin
that's right.
Left a DVD.
Oh, and that's when the creepy chug moment happened.
Yeah, then she finds this DVD that has like Gavin's last will and testament before he's turned. But Chug, who's like obsessed with Rachel, follows her down and attempts to rape her.
Yeah.
And then the little rat sonar thing, and the janitor's not going to do shit about it. Which I was like,
he's like just like watching behind a pole, like, oh, what do I do? It's like, dude, fucking hit him in the head with a pipe.
Do something. It's like, yeah, but so this fucking sonar thing goes off and it makes Gavin lose his mind because it's like this high-pitched screaming in his ear.
Because there's clearly something robotic in their brains or in their head.
And then he finds it, destroys it, and that's when the janitor puts together like, oh, this, because he's kind of aware of what's going on.
Yeah, the janitor is actually smart through the entire movie. A big surprise. He's reading Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah. And he...
You like Vonnegut?
But then like Chug, like once he destroys the thing, kind of snaps out of it, but he's all twitchy and weird. And then, so yeah, the janitor figures out what this machine actually fucks with the whatever computer chip has been put in their brain. And so that's the weapon. That's the cocaine.
Yeah.
That's the weapon.
Yep, exactly.
That's the weapon of the speed of the movie.
Yeah.
Faculty reference, sorry.
So Gavin like leaves behind this like thing like in Scream, like I guess it's technically Scream 2, the Jamie Kennedy, like if you lived long enough, you're in the sequel now type.
Yeah.
You know, he's telling them like, okay, so there's my conspiracy's all real type thing apparently. Which leads them to the psych ward where they find that the doctor's daughter is locked up there and she was a failed practice.
Yeah, and this whole psych ward thing is really out of touch with the movie.
The psych ward, literally, it's like it's like a forcibly creepy. You know, it's like I don't understand. It's like it's so over the top. It's like
it doesn't make sense for the movie.
It doesn't make any sense for the movie. It feels super out of place, and it's like it's very forced.
Yeah,
you know, and
everything's like green and gross and dirty looking, and
like all of the like patients, like it's putting this like weird like. It's definitely like a trope from like I feel like a really old trope type thing.
What the insane asylum thing?
And the insane asylum thing. It's like no, this is a psych ward. You're treating it like this is an asylum for the criminally insane.
The only ones that have done it recently like well are like American Horror Story because they lean into that old ass trope of
exactly
the haunted asylum criminally insane thing.
Exactly. So like it's just like it's just like and like apparently all of the patients are like hurting themselves.
Rachel knocks one the fuck out.
Oh yeah, that's like, what the fuck? I forgot about that. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, like they find the doctor's daughter. They don't know it yet, but she's saying this phrase over and over again.
Something about music and the cat or
little mythical creatures living in the flowers. Little mythical creatures living in the flowers.
Oh, and she's like working up all the other patients
because she's screeching it.
Yeah,
and they're trying to like Steve is like, shh,
calm down.
It's like she's a mental patient. Like,
and then Rachel just turns her around and pop.
And I was like, and then Alan just goes, it worked.
Wow, bam, Rachel, super bitch.
It worked. And then when she's knocked out, they see on her wrist that she has her patient tag, and it's the doctor's daughter. So they're like, oh, he's been experimenting for years. Oh my God. Which also they kind of
just that was jump to a conclusion.
Yeah, they just kind of jumped to a conclusion.
Yeah, maybe she's because she's mentally unstable is why he's trying to do this. Instead, he's trying to save everybody. It's like he wasn't just testing on her. Maybe I don't know, but he was. He admits to it.
Yeah. Then let's kind of.
No, I'm trying to, because like it's strangely like you still have to get through like certain points.
Well, let's just jump to this point. Steve gets to the point of like let's skip the whole gas station thing.
Yeah, because like there's the savior of the janitor while the sheriff is being an asshole, and then they pretty much he gets back to his house.
Steve gets in his idea to kidnap his sister and get the fuck out of Crescent Bay.
That's right,
Crescent Bay,
something like that.
Something like that.
Cradle Bay.
It's Crescent Island.
Yeah.
Like we got to get out of Cradle Bay. Like let's get back to Chicago where they're from.
Yeah.
So he basically goes to kidnap his sister. The parents are find them in the living room, and it's so crazy because like the mom is like, we can help you, and Steve finally has a moment of like exhaustion break of
he's
like I'm
oh
gonna
my
tell
God.
you.
He's like, oh my God, you actually it's
you can help me.
It's like, a moment of like vulnerability from my parents. Finally, thank God.
And then the fucking doctor shows up, and then it turns into you sold me out again.
Yeah.
And then he fucking beats the doctor like pretty like I liked that.
Well, he just like knees him in the nuts.
Like he hits him in the kidney and then hits him one more time and he falls to the ground. It's like he's not fucking around at this point.
I mean, he was 30, so
yeah, true. And then he walks outside and all the blue ribbons are there. I'm like, no shit, they're there, dude. Yeah. How do you think they get all the kids to the facility? Yeah. Like, they beat him up.
They take, apparently this is all happening at the psych ward as well, underground in the psych ward, when like, you know what I mean? because they were there. They were back at the psych ward where they were doing the all the shit.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because they had to get back onto the ferry from the psych ward.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so like, and then this is when you see the process of how they're brainwashed, and basically it's like a subliminal message floppy disk.
Yeah,
which made me laugh.
Remember when floppy disks could destroy or save or destroy the world?
And then like this hot proby thing is gonna go through the corner of the eye and
really fucking like Clockwork Orange type shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah. Very Clockwork Orange kind of setup, and he apparently he snuck a fucking scalpel into his fucking hand somehow, like when he was like fighting with the doctors. Yeah,
he cuts himself free, and it's like it turns into like an action story here. Like I don't know. This is like the movie. Also, this is like when like even like the quality of the filming, like the film itself,
kind of dropped weird.
Yeah, it's like why did this all of a sudden like start to look like a bad like sci-fi movie?
Yeah. He gets out, saves Rachel. They run into Chug.
They run into the Blue Ribbon. Pretty much, like all of them. Oh no, they run into Chug in the hospital. That's right.
Yeah, they run into Chug at the hospital. There's like a fight. Chug is beating the hell out of Steve, and then Rachel gets her like redemption for what Chug tried to do to her, and she straight up murders that dude.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. So then they fucking go. They're running away, and then all the Blue Ribbons are there. But then the janitor shows up to save the day. This is almost a Deus Ex Machina, but it's set up that he's gonna kind of like. Be helpful. This is when some of the worst goddamn special effects comes in as well. Everybody falling off their cliff.
No, the doctor falling off the cliff wasn't that bad. No, his wasn't that bad.
The way that he flies away into the like,
it was awesome.
No, he would have like tumbled down.
I don't care. I liked it. But I also so basically like the Blue Ribbons have the whole road cut off, and they're gonna collect them to redo this whole thing. Janitor shows up, and he's got his like fucking what was it? It was like a Sprint.
Oh, I thought it was an El Camino.
El Camino, thank you. It was an El Camino, and he's got like 15 or 20 of these rat sonar things strapped to the back, and he cranks that shit on, and they all go fucking haywire. First, he hits the doctor with his car, which was awesome. And they all go haywire, and so he starts like leading them away. Mm-hmm. But the doctor had shot him through the windshield, so when like Steve and him are like talking about it, as like they're getting closer and closer, the janitor's like, I'm already done for. Like, I got this, basically. And lets all of these teenagers that are brainwashed pile onto his car. And he just drives off the cliff.
And takes the kids with him.
Yep. He's just like, fuck it.
And then the doctor shows up, and Steve...
Another action fight scene.
With the doctor, and then pretty much... kicks the doctor off the edge of the cliff type thing.
Long live the king, you know. Yep. And
this is disturbing behavior.
You're a bad doctor.
And Steve gets onto a motorcycle and races to get to the ferry to meet up with Rachel.
They have a kiss, and they are going to live happily ever after.
And it's Rachel, UV, and his sister all going to live happily ever after.
Abandon the parents.
Yep. They're going to go back to Chicago and live the life that they all, whatever the life that they want.
Yeah. And then the final scene is some urban school where the new student teacher is going to be present. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Turns around and apparently Gavin survived
somehow.
There's a deleted scene on why it happened, and like apparently he had his headphones in.
Yeah, like he didn't hear the thing,
the sonar. Yeah, and then it's like, but then like what does that mean? Like, is he going to continue the doctor's work?
Yeah, I was like he's not a doctor.
Yeah, like what? Like, I don't think there's any sequels to this, so it's just kind of like, okay.
I looked it up. I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
disturbing behavior is also really, like, for the movies, a hard thing to Google.
Yeah,
because so many things about disturbing behavior come up.
But the alternate ending
sounded cooler.
Gavin's apparently on the ferry, and he's like holding them at gunpoint, and I forget essentially, like, it ends with Gavin end up getting shot by them.
UV shoots him.
Yeah, UV shoots him, and then in his last moments of clarity, he like the chip or whatever, like brainwash stops, and he's able to actually have like coherent last words with his best friends, and that's how the movie ends. Is
with a tear-felt goodbye with a friend that had
the
redemption.
friend that the friend that was that he believed it for so long, and blah da 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 da. I mean, so the movie just still wasn't good. But the other alternate scene in this is a love scene, and
the one that's gonna piss me off.
So apparently, when they escape from the sheriff at the gas station and they get onto the ferry to go back, and they're like kind of talking about what it is. Apparently, on the ferry, there's a filmed love scene for no reason.
I'm glad that's not in there. You can cut that shit out.
It's like when I was reading, I'm like, what? Why?
Why would that? Why? Like even them, like even thought like them kissing was kind of weird. Mm-hmm. I was like, I mean, a kiss at the end, fine, whatever. They went through this really traumatic thing, adrenaline's high. Like I don't know, maybe, but they have one kiss, like when he's like, but when he first jumps on the motorcycle, they have this kiss, and it's kind of like, why did you? Okay, whatever.
Because he's got to get the girl.
Yeah, I mean, all right. I mean, that's pretty much the movie. Do you want to rate it?
Oh, dude, I like it's a gremlin easily. I want to say it's Spike. Maybe it's almost a fucking Spike.
I don't think it's a Spike.
It's a gremlin in water.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the ending, how they left it open.
Just because of a lot of things. The psych ward, the clear takeover of the producers.
I'm gonna say Gremlin only because I feel like you could do a very good remake of this.
Yeah, possibly.
In today's day and age, and you could really take this and really make it a teenage Stepford Wives kind of thing.
I know we just did our Mogwai Awards, but this is already like a contender
for your next year.
For the Spike of next year.
The end of this year.
Like, this is so bad.
Oh, man, we got a long year, though.
It's like literally like, oh, my God. What is going on? I don't know, Katie. You're the actor. You're the character. You're supposed to be telling me.
Well, like her first couple of lines were like, bite me, razor. You're even useless as a tumor.
Yeah.
Razor. Like every other line was razor. So a gremlin for me, a gremlin water for him. I almost called you Tommy.
Yeah.
What are we doing next week?
What are we doing next week? Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Devin Sawa.
That's such a weird name. Sawa. Devin Sawa.
That's like a Star Wars character. Like word like Asawa Asababa.
I was the other gonna be like Star Trek, like Lieutenant Sawa or something. No, it's like a language. Okay. Sawa. Ooh,
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you guys want to watch this, yeah. It's like
I say watch it. I thought it was enjoyable. I mean, it was so ridiculously stupid. I really enjoyed it the entire time. But like I said, I just didn't really remember it. Once it was over, it was over. And it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's like something I wanted to bring up is that I really like the body snatcher. Yeah. Stepford Wives theme. Like I really like that something's replacing people stuff. Like I really enjoy that. I mean, that's even why this is kind of stretching it, but that's why I really even like It's Happening. Mm-hmm. Or like The Crazies.
Yeah.
Where it's like people that your friends and family are suddenly going crazy and doing crazy things. I just think it's a fun theme, and that's why I really enjoyed it. But was
it Mom and Dad?
I love that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I love that kind of like everyone's just losing their fucking, and I like it more than like zombie shit, because zombie shit's like your person isn't there anymore, but this person still is, kind of, sort of, and you're trying to like...
You can actually communicate with an idea of them.
Yeah, and that's why I also like Two-Face is my favorite Batman villain.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I really like this theme. So I really enjoyed it, but he's right. It's a hot piece of garbage.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. Like, I would watch it again. If I was like...
I don't think I can.
For like a popcorn crappy horror movie, I'd watch it again.
I don't think I would recommend it. I mean, I don't know. I would recommend it. You'll recommend it to people like me that like body snatcher stuff. It's like I recommend it for a possible like watch if we made it interesting. But it's like if we're doing a movie night, I'm not recommending for myself to sit through it again.
I will not. I'll put it on for you and I'll leave the room. Cool. You're gonna watch this? I'm going out.
Awesome. All right. I think we can probably wrap it up. But yeah, next week we're doing a Final Destination. That'll be fun.
And like we said, we replaced Jeepers Creepers with Cursed. And our promos will show that. Yeah, we'll update that stuff and whatnot. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share. All that good stuff. This is Tommy. This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.